Hello and welcome to Eden Live, where I am reading all of Eden by FREI live on Facebook and on YouTube, and the recorded clips then also find their way onto Instagram, IGTV. We are in and on the planet walk, and this is Venus. Venus troubles me. I come here reluctantly, so bright, so mystifying, so inscrutable, so tenebrous as well, beneath that gleaming skin. Moist, overwhelming, warm, so uninhabitable, at least for me. And still I feel I ought to spend some time here. Wherefore, I know not. For the experience, for the contemplation of my being, for the expansion yet of my horizon. These planets travel far and yet not wide, except they do. They are, we all are, on a forward motion. We don't notice. Venus knows. This is a body that's imbued with universal wisdom, which it can't express. We move in spirals, not ellipses. Our sun drags us with her, and whenever we feel we've been here before, we have, but we're a little further down our path. It's not the direction of our nose that we travel in, it is the direction of our pate. We have no eyes there at the top of the head. We have only a string that pulls us. And still, we resist. Here, on Venus, everything feels strange. The smells, the flavors, the embrace, the fuzzinesses and the softness, they unsettle me. Long before I become comfortable, I become complacent, and that will not do. I start to fidget, restless. I think I am getting ready to settle in some sort of way, but settledness entails a great deal of immobility. I like the rest of motion. I need to be alone. Not all the time, but enough. Venus asks me too many questions. It's not that I can't find any answers. These answers can mostly be found, but the effort is out of proportion. The thinking that normally invigorates me tires me out here. The obviousness, the courtship, the irrationalities, repetitions. At the time, there was no myth and no meaning. The time being the beginning being the origin being unknown. I suddenly feel alert, a little, and happier to exist, mainly because of this old realization that I just can't expect myself to make sense of it all. Any of it, really. It's just there. Annoying as it may be. I take a step back and I look at my thoughts as they spread out before me and find them unsatisfactory. The thinking I'm doing is inelegant, crude. It will not suffice, nor is it poetic. And thinking without poetry is like love without mathematics. It has no substance, no structure, no special tingle of satisfaction, no meaning. It is like sex in a haze of drunkenness with someone you don't fancy. I'm becoming self-referential, and it irks me. Womanhood. Much like aliens, women don't so much scare me as baffle. I've hardly ever thought this through, but there comes a time and a place. I seriously doubt that now is that time, or this that place, but when or where will it ever be, and does it matter? I content myself mostly with knowing that there are things I can't know, and go where my curiosity takes me, which is not normally here, nor abnormal. I'm out of my depth, out of my comfort, out of my pond. The mountains, the seas, and the rivers, the stream. The landscape and the disorientation. There are too many things happening all at once to get a handle on any of them. And there is also the new mix, the new blend, the new fusion, that both excites and frightens me a little. Not because I dread the loss of myself, but because I really like my delineations as much as I like my in-betweennesses and my blurring, the overlapidization of our existence. I like it. Entropy. I hear a warm, soothing voice that is not in my head, and it is not in my memory. It is not my mother, my sister, my wife. The voice comes from the ground, and from the cloud that envelops the ground, and from the all about the sphere that I have wrapped my body around. And it says that there are no mysteries, and there must be no sorrow. She's trying to reassure me. I'm not sure she succeeds, but her sentiment is kind. I feel her hand on my back, on my neck, on my thigh, and the touch is tender and real. I recall once upon a time being deeply at ease in this presence, and as deeply afraid of it, too. What embraces you may ensnare you. What holds you can crush you. What loves you, kill you. What desires you, own you. What owns you is you, and you thought you knew who you were. Did I? Maybe a couple of eons ago. It is possible then, when I did not yet exist, that I was really quite sure of myself. I had an arrogant streak, not mean, not cocky, but aloof. My journey humbles me. I sense I'm getting closer to the truth, and like everyone else, I know that there is no such thing, though deep down I want there to be, and maybe there is. If not a truth, then a value, perhaps, to hold on to. The energy that we are, the quantum states, the potentialities, the particles and the waves. Of course, I am Venus as much as Venus is me. We share the constituent parts, and yet I don't belong here. It's sometimes good to know where you belong, and also good to know where you don't. There's nothing definite ever, and anything can and does change, and you never say never, and all that goes with it. And in any case, there's only so much existing you can expect to be doing at any one time. But by the time your energy dissolves and changes its forms, time ceases too. And you are quite literally reborn, only not in the way that you thought you didn't want to think about or were taught or wanted to believe to be nonsense. From one state to another, these states are all within us, contained. The energy that you are is your matter, your body, your molecules, your thoughts, your emotion, your wants and your needs. Always they come as a pair. You knew that already. Your shades and your textures. And when they go, they don't go, they are simply reconfigured, because energy cannot be destroyed. It can only and will be transformed. I shall not miss myself when I'm gone, for I am always around. So are you, so is Venus, so are the superclusters of our sister gods. I am much happier now than I was before I came here. I knew I would be, I doubted it not. But now, much as I sense the draw of the earth that is so near and so familiar and so welcoming too, I must surely go on a detour and find me a distant adventure. Home beckons, but I have to explore. And that was Venus, on and in the planet walk. The next planet we shall be visiting will be Uranus, and then Saturn, then Mars, and then Earth. So thank you very much for joining me on this adventure together. I will see you again next time being on Wednesday. I do this twice weekly, on a Monday and on a Wednesday at 6 p.m. London time, which is 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so until then, take good care and look after yourself, and love and let love, and see you very soon. Bye-bye.